Hi guys, I'm Janice. Welcome to my channel. Today I thought maybe I would do a review on an emergency button that my husband has required that I use. I have used this button before when I had my first seizure 9 months ago, and there were definitely some ups and downs with it, so I think I'm pretty qualified to review it. I should say that because we're using this for me as a person who is not a senior citizen, and because I have seizures or seizure-like events, we're not really sure. My situation might be a little bit different than what you're looking for if you're trying to evaluate it for somebody who is elderly and perhaps lives alone and needs somebody to help sometimes. So that's what this button is for. So what we have is the Telus LivingWell companion button, and as I said, I used it before. We used it for 4 or 5 months and then sent it back, and I hadn't had any more events, so we decided maybe I didn't need it. And also it was really frustrating for me. There were some really good things about it and some very frustrating things. So what I thought I'd do is I'm going to start off with just activating it, and then we'll go from there. So I have not used this button. I just received it, and the first thing that you have to do is push the button and activate it and tell them that you're doing a test. So there's a little introductory pamphlet here that says that I need to push the button just to make sure that it's activated and working. So I'm going to press it and hold down. And there it goes. And it's not working so far. It should be talking to me. So I'm going to try again. There we go.
Your personal mobile responder is ready.
Okay. So I guess that was the setup. So we'll try it again because I'm supposed to actually talk to somebody.
Calling your response team now. Please hold the device and position the microphone near your mouth to complete your call.
Emergency line, is everything okay?
Yes, everything's fine. This is just my setup test call.
Okay, can I get your name, please?
Janice.
Janice, give me one moment. Alright, thank you. I'll mark it down as a successful test. Janice, have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Ending your call now.
So that's basically what happens when you press the button. This does have a positive thing, is that it has the fall detection, which is a useful thing, and that's actually kind of the main reason why my husband wanted me to have this, just in case I did actually fall. Thankfully, I do have an aura when I have these events, so I can get myself down on the ground, and I haven't had a fall. So it may not be necessary for me down the road, but in the meantime, he just feels more comfortable with me having it, so here we are. So what's interesting though, and a bit of a drawback, is that when it does do fall detection, it takes a lot longer to get a hold of somebody. So when I push the button, you could hear that actually got a hold of somebody pretty fast. But when it does fall detection, it will say fall detected, and it will wait and wait and wait and wait for up to sometimes about 5 minutes. And then eventually it will ring an operator, and then you can tell them that you've fallen or not. So that's it's a bit of a drawback. I've noticed quite a difference between the two. Now, how do I know that when I have not fallen? Well, here's some more of the interesting issues with these types of devices. One is that it does come with one lanyard, and the lanyard is a cloth lanyard, so you can wear it in the shower because it's waterproof, but the problem is the lanyard is not waterproof, so it's wet, and it just doesn't dry. It takes a long time to dry. So I found that very problematic. It also does come with a belt clip that you can switch out. It's a little bit difficult. The part to switch out is a bit complicated, and it can break eventually if you keep doing it a lot. And I also found initially that the the belt clip itself was, the old one with my last device was quite a strong one, and which made it difficult to put in, but also was stronger, so it actually stayed on your belt. And this one, they've replaced them because they broke, because they were just, it's not a very good design as far as how it attaches. The new one is easier to put on, but it is really weak and it doesn't stay on your belt really very well. So I find it kind of useless. And what I also find is that with this particular device, you're supposed to only wear it on your belt or your belt loop and not put it in your pocket or anything like that. But when you put it on your pants, basically, when you go to the bathroom, you have to very, 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 very slowly take your pants down. If you do it quickly, then it will do fall detection every time. And so you end up having it do these false alarm calls constantly, which is what I was dealing with quite regularly. So I got really sick of that really fast. So, and another negative was that when my husband called to order this device, he was setting everything up with the guy, and I mentioned that I'm frustrated with the lanyard situation because I will not wear it in the shower, which means I cannot wear the device at all in the shower because there's only one lanyard and I'm not wearing a wet lanyard all day. So he said, fine, I'll send you a second one. And then he didn't, because I'm pretty sure they can't. Because I did ask for one previously. The last time I had one, I called specifically and asked if I could have a second one sent. They were happy to send me lots more belt clips, but not a lanyard. And because of that, probably once he looked into it, if he remembered to look into it, he probably realized that no, they just don't have extra lanyards to send to their clients. So that's definitely a negative. And I do understand you can buy lanyards yourself, and there's different ways you could probably make it work. You could probably try to attach one to the belt clip and then use that as a backup, or that's an option that I'll have to look into. But in the meantime, I'm just not going to wear it in the shower because I don't want to have to wear a wet lanyard all the time, and I don't find the belt clip useful. So those are negatives. That plus the very long time they take when they do fall detection is a problem. Another positive is that this is on GPS. It uses cellular, so and you don't need a cell phone for it. It's completely self-sufficient, and so you can wear it out. And so I wear it out when I go out somewhere with somebody. If I'm going for a walk with a friend or anything like that, I've got my device on, and I don't necessarily need it because I have a friend there already, but it's handy if you need it to go out somewhere. If I just want to take a walk around the block, anything like that, I've got my device here, and if I happen to fall down or something, then I've got it. I can push my button and let them know that I'm out on the road, and they can send somebody, or they can, well, first of all, what they do is they call your list of contacts. So like a neighbor, friend who lives nearby, and get them first of all to come and check on you and make sure you're okay. And if they can't get a hold of them, then they will call 911 and have an ambulance come. So at least it's not like they're immediately calling an ambulance, which is good because most of the time you probably don't need them to go that far. So there's pros and cons, and I would say that the device itself it's an extra stress of its own. And when you're dealing with a stressful situation, you're not sure if you're going to have another event like my situation. I don't know. I'm also on medication that gets me kind of riled up and stressed out already. So I don't have a lot of tolerance for frustrating situations, which is frustrating. So that's a problem. The other thing that I found, and it was actually the final straw that I finally said, that's it, we're sending this button back last time, was that several times at night, in the middle of the night or at midnight, something would go wrong with the network and it would start talking. It would bing, 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 and then start talking to me in the middle of the night and wake me up, shock me out of my sleep. Now, I already struggle with insomnia and have a variety of problems that make sleep very difficult, including a lot of pain. And when you get a shock of adrenaline from something like that, sitting right beside your bed in the middle of the night, well, let me tell you, it's not helping the situation. And of course, I need my sleep so that I don't have another one of these events too. So I would recommend not plugging it in next to your bed. I would plug it in somewhere else in the house overnight because it needs to charge, which is normal. And you're laying down already, so you shouldn't have to worry about fall detection being needed. But for they recommend that you do plug it in next to your bed so that if you had an event happen while you're in your bed, you could reach over and push the button. But I'm not going to do that because I need my sleep and I will not put up with that again. That's just not an option for me. I hope they work on that. I hope they fix the system. Maybe that particular situation hasn't happened again since I had the button last time. I don't know. But I'm not really willing to find out again, so I'm just not plugging it in anywhere in my room. It will be at the other end of the house and probably kind of hidden away somewhere so that hopefully nobody hears it if it does start to make noises in the middle of the night. So that's a big negative for me. So if you're in a situation where you think you need a button like this, there definitely are some major pros to it. This is a cheaper device. This is from Telus. It's not, Telus is an internet and cable provider, cell phone provider, and telephone. They're a major telephone company here in BC. And so this is something they're getting into the health field now as well, and this is one of the things that they're doing. So if cost is a factor, then this would be one to try because it is cheaper for your monthly fee. There's no setup fee and there's also no contract. So you can cancel anytime. And in fact, when they have caused problems in the middle of the night with the noise, then they have given us rebates at times to apologize for the inconvenience. So they're trying. It's just they have a long way to go. And my guess is if they can really get this thing working well, then it'll probably cost more because that's usually how it works. They're going to be paying for a better networking system and that kind of thing. So it's worth a try, but it's just still not my favorite. And I wouldn't mind trying something else that might be a little bit better. But my husband, he does research. That's kind of his thing. And this was the one that he found that he thought was the best option. So that's what we have. So that is my review of the LivingWell Companion Go. There are different levels. This is the one we have. There are different kinds that have more options and fewer options depending on what you're looking for. And it is also something that can be connected if you have an Apple Watch. So if you wanted to have that for your fall detection and for the way that you connect to them, you can use the Apple Watch as well. I didn't go for that option, decided not to have an Apple Watch. So that's not something I'm doing, but if that is something you have, then you should know that that is another convenience that's available to you. So I hope you found this review helpful and that it gives you an idea of what you might want to use if you're here in Canada. Then you could look it up and talk to them. And I would also say too that if you want to call and ask them questions, the operators that you talk to will pick up very quickly and are very helpful and very kind. So that's a big plus too. You're not sitting on hold for hours and hours waiting to get a hold of somebody. They're pretty quick to help you out. So I do appreciate that. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review and that it was helpful to you. If you like this kind of content and you want to follow my journey and comment and question, please do feel free to subscribe and like and share and all that good stuff. And take care and God bless.